Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is the UFC 167 post-fight recap with Senator Thunderheart. And tonight, wow, excellent matchups, excellent fights. And, I mean, some of the finishes, of course, were maybe questionable, but I will read down the card for you and read the results for it. So here you go. Here we go, excuse me. So, Cody Dunham versus Gian Villante. And the winner is Gian Villante via knockout. Well, Campuzano versus Sergio Pettis, and the winner is Sergio Pettis via a unanimous decision. Jason High versus Anthony Lapsley, and the winner is Jason High via unanimous decision. And in this this is a fight that I actually saw from the beginning of the preliminaries, as Erik Perez versus Edwin Figueroa. And the winner is Erik Perez via unanimous decision. I mean, basically, it was really all Erik Perez's fight, basically, what it all boils down to. Sure, the striking was a bit even. Well, not necessarily as excuse me on that. Erik Perez did a great striking, but Figueroa, of course, was also dangerous on the striking, was on the foot. But what really did it for Erik was, of course, took him down, ground and pounding him. That's what did it. That's what did basically how he dominated the fight. And so really, Erik Perez got the decision, and I like the fact that he wears a luchador mask. So obviously he knows something about lucha libre and in wrestling in Mexico, and lucha and how it's definitely relatable to the Mexican culture down there. And of course, as what Joe Rogan said about Edwin Figueroa, he needs to be more disciplined in his striking. I mean, his striking is a little bit sloppy, and he throws haymakers and throws wild, and it's good if he actually lands them, and he does land some of them. But he would be more effective if he learns to clean up his techniques a little bit more. So that's basically all I have to say on this one. So congratulations, Erik Perez. And this fight right here is Brian Ebersole versus Rick Story. And the winner is Rick Story via unanimous decision. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, Brian Ebersole had his unorthodox style. We all knew that, right? But he did pretty damn good. And man, what a chin did he have, because Rick Story was just kept on coming with these punches. I mean, my goodness. And I mean, the thing about it is Rick Story was also hurting him with leg kicks to a degree where Brian Ebersole's step was not as crisp as it should have been, but he still was able to hit him with elbows and things like that. And in the very end, Brian Ebersole was in trouble near the third round. He kicked him so hard in the leg that he actually collapsed. His leg, hopefully his knee is not cracked or broken, and I don't think so because he was walking. But still, it would have been an extremely career injury right there if that would have been broken like that. But fortunately, it goes for Rick Story. He just kept on coming, and that's what happened. He just kept pushing forward, keep landing shots, keep pushing forward, landing shots. Brian Ebersole kept evading, but he kept on doing different techniques and different things, which was pretty good, but it was not enough against Rick Story. It was a unanimous decision victory. So congratulations on Rick Story finally getting his win back. Good. And this next fight here is Ed Herman versus Thales Leites. And the winner is Thales Leites via a unanimous decision. I mean, this is another one of those bouts that was Ed Herman didn't do too well, especially the fact that obviously if Thales Leites was presented just a black belt, was able to take him down, ground and pounded him, controlled him, basically throughout the whole fight. It was kind of boring in a sense too, because I almost fell asleep in that fight. And no, wake up, keep on it. And so fortunately, I had some stimulation around me. A couple of guys were trying to talk to me, and even my wife was texting me about a few things. But I still paid some attention. But really, what is the call? I mean, sure, like I said, Ed Herman did his best to throw some good strikes, but Thales just had all the answers to how he dominated him. So the winner went with the United States. So congratulations, Thales Leites. And the next fight right here is Donald Cerrone versus Evan Dunham, and the winner is Donald Cerrone via a submission with a triangle choke. In the the bottom line was, sure, Dunham and actually Evan Dunham basically was getting outstruck by Donald Cerrone in this. The winner up from the beginning, with Muay Thai kicks and knees to the face, but what happened was what really slowed Donald Cerrone down from finishing was Evan Dunham was able to get him some grappling, and took him down a few times, and was trying to ground and pound him, but Donald Cerrone kept on escaping, and pushed him against the fence, and then started throwing knees to the hamstrings and thighs and things like that. But here's the thing. Of course, Donald, he had him a few times. Evan Dunham had him on the ground. They also nearly had him in a triangle a few times. He got out of it. Actually, no, one time he got out of it. But then the second time, of course, Cerrone had him again in a triangle. This time he had it so cinched away that he couldn't move. He didn't move to the side quick enough, meaning Evan Dunham. And then Cerrone had him turned over, where he still had a triangle locked in, and that's when he, if you can see it from a different angle, he tapped his stomach, tap out, victory. Excellent submission from a triangle choke. So congratulations, Cerrone. Excellent submission victory. And I bet you probably made submission victory or not. If that's the case, and congratulations, Cerrone, on that. And in this next fight here, that probably should at least earn him the knockout of the night, as Josh Koscheck versus Tyron Woodley. And the winner is Tyron Woodley via knockout. Like I said, that probably has to have earned knockout of the night, because the way he took out Josh Koscheck was crazy. But the fact is that, yeah, John Woodley kept it patient. All of a sudden, he just went bam, bam. And I say it actually rocked him from the beginning. But Josh Koscheck recovered and started rocking him a little bit too with some of the punches. But Woodley was not going to be denied, and he just kept on pushing Josh against the fence a little bit. Josh tried to do some takedowns and so forth. But man, I mean, what really got him going was the fact that, of course, he finally landed a nice meat hook to Josh's face. Josh went to his jaw, he went down, he went on a 45-degree angle and just went jab. No, he just went two punches. Bam, bam. Josh went down, he went and started to pound him. The referee had enough and rewarded Tyron Woodley the knockout victory against Josh Koscheck. Wow. Man, this Woodley is this guy is something else in the welterweight division. This guy is something else. This guy's he's a serious contender, folks. So you gotta watch out for this guy. And the next fight right here is Rory MacDonald versus Robbie Lawler. And the winner is Robbie Lawler via split decision. I mean, this was a good fight overall. I mean, my goodness. Sure, Robbie Lawler started off aggressively. He started off with leg kicks. And surprisingly, Rory MacDonald wasn't necessarily checking these leg kicks. He just kept on doing this, and he was just getting ready. But man, once Rory MacDonald got going, though, he really got some swing going. He connected a few good times with Robbie Lawler. He had him taken down. Robbie Lawler kept on also some. But see what really got Robbie Lawler going was he kept on striking Rory MacDonald in so many ways. But Rory MacDonald just kept on coming and kept on countering too. Now, of course, Rory MacDonald had him taken down 2 times during the fight and was grinding and pounding him. But of course, Robbie Lawler was able to actually, during the 3rd round, was able to do some grinding and pounding himself on Rory MacDonald. See? And not to mention, Rory MacDonald was not, I don't know, something was off with him. He seems like he was a little bit tired. He was not on his game to the fullest tonight. He normally is on his game. He's normally like really striking. He's normally like countering, and he did a great job tonight fighting back against Robbie Lawler. Don't get me wrong, but wow, a split decision. I mean that was like Rory MacDonald's first loss in a while or something like that. I mean, my goodness. And Robbie Lawler's a veteran, so he knows what he's doing in the octagon. So does Rory. Both great fighting, both excellent fighters. But Robbie Lawler came out barely winning, but he won a decision victory, which a lot of people claim that Rory MacDonald was a favorite in this fight against Robbie Lawler, but Robbie Lawler pulled it off, so congratulations. And in the co-main event, as former UFC light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans went against his friend Chael Sonnen, the famous trash talker in the UFC, maybe in MMA in general. And of course, the winner is Rashad Evans via TKO. And this fight didn't take very long either. I mean, wow. I mean, they first started off, they started swinging, but then Rashad Evans basically was hitting him. They will both press each other against the fence. They were wrestling each other on the fence, and then that's when Chael Sonnen tried to neutralize him with some knees and so forth, but Rashad just kept on doing some nice punches, nice hooks, sucking some hooks. My goodness. And then on top of that, Rashad Evans finally was able to take Chael down, and then finally was able to, was holding him down and was starting to pound him a little bit. and he kept on like pushing and really forced his will on Chael. Chael didn't really have an answer, and Chael usually doesn't really have anybody on top of him. But he's usually the guy who's on top of people instead of the other way around. But John Jones, what has happened in the past, John Jones really destroyed him once he got on top of Chael. And tonight was really not much any difference because, wow, once Chael should have got overwhelmed, he finally got his back, and that's when Rashad just went bam, bam, bam. Just hit him so much to a point where Chael just covered up, didn't even have any answer to any punches, and Herman, referee, had enough and stopped the fight. So, wow. Rashad Evans destroyed Chael Sonnen, and now, he's on his way to maybe becoming a contender again for the light heavyweight champion. Let's see what happens after this whole thing with John Jones versus Glover Teixeira. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. So, wow. In any event, and then now the main event of the evening, as Georges St. Pierre, the champion, went against Johnny Hendricks, the challenger, and the winner, and still, of course, the UFC welterweight champion, via a split decision, is George St. Pierre. I keep on saying Georges, but it's George St. Pierre, even though it has it spelled that way because he's French-Canadian and so forth. But in any event, and to be honest with you, I really thought that Johnny Hendricks was going to take it via decision or nonetheless, because the way Johnny Hendricks came out, I mean, yes, he took Georges down 3 times. He pounded him, and he kept on him and grinding and pounding him, but at the same time, Georges was able to get up, and not to mention, he almost nearly took out Georges, about the first round, and even the second round, he almost rocked Georges out, but especially in the first round, he almost took him out. He nearly did, and Georges was all busted up all over his face. He couldn't even barely see it in his right eye, but he kept on fighting back with jabs, nice kicks, and to a point where after, starting around the third round, that's when, of course, Johnny Hendricks was starting to gas out a little bit. He was starting to, breathe heavily, or was he conserving his energy? This is just like what Joe Rogan said. Perhaps he was, but still, he wasn't breathing too well during, at least the first 3 rounds. But during the 4th round, that's when Johnny Hendricks started to really come back and took him down and started pounding on him. But then George came out and started doing his thing too. And then by the 5th round, that's when he was actually able to take Johnny Hendricks down twice, and not to mention Johnny Hendricks was also getting struck, but it just was not hard enough. I mean, sure, he dazed him a little bit with some kicks to the head, and even almost tripped him with a leg kick, and almost knocked him down. But the thing about it was, I really truly feel Johnny Hendricks did more as far as not only takedowns, but he actually just nearly knocked him out. He ground and pounded him. Sure, George came out and did his thing by leaning against the fence and so forth. But Johnny Hendricks just kept on, did the same thing to him and did the same thing back to him. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that George actually deserved to still be a champion and walk out, or do you think Johnny Hendricks got it? Do you think he was robbed? I mean, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes because the thing is, I'm not a judge. But at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute. Johnny Hendricks did a lot of the things that he should have done. And even though, in a fight, a lot of people would judge that George lost the fight because of the fact that his face was busted up. But Johnny Hendricks did not do enough to take him out. And I think that's probably what it is. Now, is MMA starting to go into the rules of boxing now? That's not right. They need to do something about, I guess, the way they judge. I don't know, but congratulations, George, anyway, on still being the UFC welterweight champion. And on top of that, I also had a feeling when I took a look at him, his mind was not fully in the game either. That's the funny thing. His mind wasn't even in the game fully. Something personal has happened in his life where he felt like he needs to do something. He feels like he needs to hang up his gloves. So, George, good luck on what you're going to do. If you're going to retire, happy retirement. If you're going to come back, I'm sure you're going to come back. But the fact of the matter is that if you're gonna go out, in other words, you would go out and rest. If you're going to go out and take care of whatever personal issues you got, go ahead and take care of them. Because I remember many years ago when he lost against Matt Serra, I read and I researched later in the magazine that he had lost about 3 relatives during that 1 month before he went and took the title fight against Matt Serra, the first time when Matt Serra beat him. But once he got his mind sharpened again, he got refocused and refreshed, he was able to destroy Matt Serra and regain the title. And that almost happened. And I really felt that he lost it tonight, but the judges saw differently. And so, congratulations, George, anyway, and good luck on your time off. And if you're going to be gone for good, then I wish you the best of success in all the different endeavors, definitely. So, wow, what a night tonight. Man, I mean, it's one of those nights that you, like, and then not to mention, happy 20th anniversary UFC. I remember when UFC 1 first came around, I was 17 years old, and I used to watch Royce Gracie, dominated the fights, and all these different things, and now it has evolved to the sport as it is. So, excellent job, UFC, in staying around that long, and now becoming a global juggernaut that you're becoming. So, in any event, I'm going to get going. I'm standing with on the heart, and I'm just going to get going and get some other stuff done. So, take care. Many blessings to you all, and please party responsibly. So, have fun, but have fun responsibly. Oh, and also too, just in case I don't do this by then, I just want to tell you, people in America, happy Thanksgiving to all my supporters and fans from America. So, take care and be blessed. Healing, it is all that is.